what do you need to know for the collective? And during my collective readings, the responses I give are a bit more in depth when you purchase a question. So it costs a little bit more on here, but you get a little bit more on here. And we have that going on today as well. Before we get started today, thank you guys so much for whatever you do to support this channel. Thank you for your comments, likes, shares, your subscribes, your timestamps, your donations, your purchases. Everybody who leaves tips when they purchase, or anybody who has purchased anything from my wish list over the years. I have a lot of different things on there. And I really appreciate each and every one of you who has done anything like that. So thank you guys so much for that. Thank you as well to our guides who help to facilitate these messages, our angels, our ancestors, for you guys being able to find it when you need to hear it, and for me being able to express it in a way that hits home with you. Really, really grateful to be able to be here and to have this place to be able to work with you guys. So as well, thank you to YouTube for giving us the space to do that. And yeah, that's about what I got. So today, I had to go do something this morning, and before I left, the older dog I have kind of wandered away, and he does that sometimes because he was used to being able to do that when he was with the last person he was with, and usually he stays pretty close by and comes back pretty quickly. Wasn't going to be gone that long, so I was like, you know what? Can't find him. He's a stubborn ass. He ain't going to listen. So I took off for a minute. Got a call within like 20 minutes from pals that they had picked him up. In the last couple days, I've been really contemplating that because I'm like, you know, he is way too old to be living this way with the extremes of temperatures, with the being able to get in and out of my van, all that kind of good stuff. And so I've been contemplating whether or not I should be going down there and talking to them about if there's anybody that would be interested in taking him home. Culminating in the little video that I ended up running across last night that had to do with an old dog getting tired of living on the street. And so when that happened this morning, that's when I decided to talk to them about it. So they're finding him a home as we speak. And I get back home to my van. There is a notice on it saying that since this vehicle is abandoned, they will be towing it within the next 24 to 48 hours. They know it's not abandoned. First off, my dogs were sitting in it. Hello. Call down to the police station. They send over the officer that had done that, and he stood there smirking the entire time I was talking to him. And I was like, I just wanted to make sure that you guys logged it, that this is not an abandoned vehicle. I mean, it's pretty obvious that it's not abandoned. He's like, it looked abandoned to me. And I was like, my dogs are in it. He's like, and by the way, we can take those dogs if you leave them in there. I was like, it was not hot out when I left. By the time it got warmer, I was back. I already gave them some water and some food. Now I'm dealing with you, and I have plans to go sit outside with them for a while because it's too warm in there for any of us during the day. And I was like, I just wanted to make sure that my van is not going to get towed away while I'm gone for a minute. And he's like, I was like, you gotta give notice on that, right? He's like, well, that was the notice. I was like, yes, but we've already established that it's not abandoned, correct? Which means you have to give new notice if you decide to tow my van, right? He would not answer that at all the entire time. He would not answer that. And he's like, well, because I was like, it's safe then, right? And he's like, as long as nobody complains. Well, if somebody complains, you still have to give notice that you're towing it. Correct. He wouldn't answer it. The only time he answered it was when he said, we already gave notice. That was the notice. Yeah, except, sorry, we've determined it's not an abandoned vehicle, which means you need new notice now. That made that notice null and void because I addressed it immediately, and here I am, not abandoning my vehicle. Pretty much anything they can do to harass me. And you know what? I figured I would at least share that story with you guys here. That way it's documented somewhere. It's nice to have those things documented, right? Really wish I would have taken a video of that, and then I could have just posted the video. That would have been nice. Maybe one of these times I'll actually remember to do that. Anyway, So, we are going to be getting into this message today about what do you need to know currently. When I get this, hold this over here for a second. Let me get this bag open. That sounds about right. And even if I get noticed that I got to move, it's going to be a pain in the ass. And I hope I can get it moved in time because it's broke down. And I can't move it without it being towed. And I mean like not on a tow chain, but car dolly. Without it being towed, I can't move it this time because it literally is going to break apart if I do. So yeah. Anyway, let's get into these messages. What do you need to know currently? You will be able to navigate hard situations that arise with a positive attitude. Playfulness, happiness, and good fortune are coming. Keep an eye open and keep an open mind. Some change, even if it is bad at first, brings great things. Do not fear. Have courage and face things head on. Don't worry or fret. Live in the moment and go with the flow. Freedom and the ability to break the chains that bind. You are able to keep stability throughout these changes. Your life will be revitalized. You have the mental strength to know and see who your friends and who your enemies are. So you are very intuitive. And you definitely have the ability to be able to sort through who is a good person in your life and who is not. Sometimes you may choose not to listen to that little voice. It's kind of like a circumstance that happened recently. There was a part of me that knew from the beginning, but I really didn't want to believe that version, and the person in question did not correct me on it. The other night, I finally asked my boyfriend whether or not he knew that was in my bag. And if you've been here for a while, you know what I'm talking about. And he said yes, and then he started talking about something else really quick, and I was like, okay, so that was a yes, right? And he's like, yeah. So you knew that was there. Well, I didn't. And this entire time, I thought you didn't too. So I've been fighting that voice in my head that said you did. Pretty messed up when that's going on. And sometimes when you've had a lot of trauma in your life, it is really hard to decide if it's your distrust of people and situations that's causing you to feel that way. And maybe it's an irrational fear, or 744. It could also be something that is actually real. So sometimes it's hard to sort between those things. Give yourself a break when you have those moments. We're not meant to know everything, and we definitely are fallible. Not one of us is perfect in any way. All of us make mistakes every day. 3.5 years now they've been doing that, yeah. And I believe the exact same thing. Thank you, Tori, for the reminder. Try to forgive, try to not worry about it so much. It's kind of hard when you're in the position I'm in because, you know, I have like 6 things due right now, and one of them is the loan I had to take out on that van to get it out of impound because of something that somebody else stuck in my bag and has been telling them from the beginning that it was theirs anyway. And here pretty soon, because I'm 2 payments behind on it, my van may actually end up getting taken. Then what are we going to do? We're going to be laying on the ground out here somewhere, you know? And that's with my dogs. Pretty sad. And can't move it because it's broke down. And paying off that loan is funny because, you know, it's broke down. And it's going to cost $400 to fix that. So it's like, and it's just one thing on top of another. I checked my mail day before yesterday, and now my post office box is due too, and that's $100 right there. It's funny. And then everybody's like, why can't you just get a job? Well, I can't leave my dogs in the car all day. Well, that officer reminded me today that, yeah, I can't leave my dogs in the car because they'll take them. Not just because something could happen, even if I'm running back and forth to check on them, they could come and take them because they could decide that I'm neglecting them in some way. People in this town, yeah, there's some good ones, but they're very few and far between, which is funny considering this town has like 17 churches in it. I honestly don't even know that you exist. Just like you, I'm busy pining after someone who doesn't see me either. We are mirrors. I Still See You is coming to mind. There's been a movie popping up constantly for like the last month. It's called I Still See You. So there could definitely be somebody that is really watching you, wanting something more with you, but you may have absolutely no idea that they exist. And you might be doing that same thing in your life where you're kind of watching somebody and they have kind of no idea that you exist. We are mirrors. I wish that I knew how to shine brighter, how to stop being invisible to my interest. Step into your full light and be you. There's been a lot of messages coming through about being invisible recently. Step into your full light and be you, and know that you will have others who notice you. As we are chasing others who don't see us, someone is chasing us, and we don't see them, because we are so focused on something that we can't have instead of what's right in front of us. Don't settle for the ones who don't see you, or the ones who see you that you don't see. Get to know the ones looking, but don't settle. You could also be bold and make the first move. Who knows? Once I see you, things may change. But so far, I haven't noticed. It's not your fault. I'm just very focused on someone else the way that you are on me. This goes for a lot of things in life, too. When you're extremely focused on a certain outcome or a certain situation or certain things happening, a lot of times it can actually block those things from happening. It actually produces the exact opposite result of what you're trying to accomplish because your focus is so fully on it. And usually it's on it in somewhat of a negative way. Oh, sorry guys. I was trying to take off my jacket. Anyway, so yeah, there could definitely be situations in your life that are going on right now where you're very focused on things that just don't seem to be going anywhere, or maybe even people that things don't seem to be moving forward with. It's time to start focusing on those ones that are focusing on you and giving your time and attention to what's in front of you, being more in the moment and letting go of what may be going on outside of yourself. You are so free, authentic, and true to you. You fly high and you take those leaps with a steady faith and courage. I don't feel like you see yourself as so courageous, but you are. If anyone I know has balls, it's you. You are confident and stable in your pursuits. You stand up for what you believe in and for what you feel is right. You never turn a blind eye to injustice. Your curiosity is amazing. And you are always... Okay, anyway, sorry. And I am always completely sure that I won't be bored with you around. I won't back down. Tom Petty. What's funny about Tom Petty, he was one of my dad's favorite singers. And for those of you who don't know, my dad passed away in 2018. Shortly after that, Tom Petty passed away. Right after Tom Petty passed away, I had a dream that it was right after when my dad died. And for some reason, I was like inside Tom Petty's like motel room or whatever it was, at whatever venue he was playing at, because for some reason I got asked to come back there and I got to meet him and all that kind of stuff, which was pretty cool. We only have one life to live. You might as well do what you want to. People are going to hate you, 411. People are going to hate you no matter what you do. There's going to be people who hate you. There's going to be people who love you no matter what you do. They might as well love you for the real you and not some masked version of you that you're trying to pull off to make the people around you happy. There could definitely be somebody from your past that may actually be really wanting to come back and express their feelings for you in some way. They may actually be very upset about the way things played out with you, 44, or the way things happened, because they could have been extremely focused on someone else while you were focused on them, and now you're not focused on them anymore. But they may be focused on you. You could stand me up at the gates of hell, but I won't back down. No, I stand my ground, won't be turned around. Hyena. Which is funny because there was somebody I was actually thinking about when I was stating that last statement, and that's the animal I referred to when I told them that's what they reminded me of. Bringing masculine and feminine aspects into balance, knowing when to take action and when to be passive and receptive. The instincts of the hyena will help you to understand what moves are best. The hyena teaches us balance, helps us to realize our power, and to be grateful for what we have, to not long for what we don't have. Independence, communication, and community are highlighted. You are someone who brings the warmth of the sun to the coldness of the earth. You may awaken others to their strengths and to their weaknesses. And what's funny about the last part of that message, when I was reading the first part of that message, I was thinking about that and how you may have actually helped this person to balance their masculine and feminine energy. This could have been something that helped you to balance your masculine and feminine energy. This could have been a situation where somebody could have been very negative in this situation, and the other person was pretty happy-go-lucky, pretty positive, pretty feeling good about life and things like that, even though the person that was feeling good about those things may not have had as much as the other person. And the other person could have had quite a bit, but wasn't really seeing what was in front of them and wasn't really grateful for it. So this was a wake-up moment for you and another person when it came to dealing with each other. Fear pulls you from me. My love for you is unconditional even when you're irrational. My love for you is consistent even when you want to quit it. It's hard for me to stand so strong. As you figure out, it takes so long. My heartbeat races when you are near, a distant drumming echoing fear. I want to speak so badly to you. Do you feel this same need too? When I am near you, I think I see the same in you as is in me. I hope the waterfall comes crashing down. In your feelings, I would happily drown. I can hold your head in my lap, even if you're opposed to sap. Please, my love, come to me. Please, my love, set yourself free. So, if at this time there is something that you're afraid to do, or if there's a lot of fears surrounding a certain topic or a certain person or a certain situation, it's time to address those fears and to really look at them. Is this your intuition speaking, or is this your fear speaking? Is your fear pulling you back and holding you away from things that you love, or people that you love, or places that you want to be, or things that you want to do? Because if so, it's time to take that leap of faith and to put yourself out there. We only have so long to live. So we might as well live the life. By the way, that message that just popped up was, hey, don't miss out. We might as well live the life that we want to live. Hi, Rashima. Nice to see you. Instead of missing out on things that we could have done or places we could have been, instead of having a bunch of regrets later because, I should have done that while I had the chance. Instead, you did it. And even if it didn't work out, guess what? You did it. And now you don't have the regrets at the end of the day because, hey, at least I tried. Did the best I could. Had the experience. Learned a lesson. Got whatever I got from it. Didn't stay stuck, bored, and stagnant. All because fear got in the way. I am with you in the mind. Oh, somebody might be with you in the mind. You might have a very strong telepathic connection with somebody, but that's not actually what it says. I am with you in the wind. I am here and you are never alone. Remember my hugs, my songs, my love. It is still with you and in you. Spread that love wherever you go in this world. You are a beacon of hope and light, just as I was to you. Don't take this responsibility lightly. This could be a grandmother talking to you or a father that has passed away. And I say grandmother because I've known since I was a small child that my grandmother is in the wind with me. And I say father because all of a sudden, that same thing I was thinking of yesterday with Simba's father in the clouds was popping into mind. Remember me, Simba. Remember my hugs, my songs, my love. Remember the beauty that I brought to your world. You are somebody who brings that beauty to other people's lives. And if you hold yourself back, it's amazing the beauty that can be lost through doing that. You're meant to be a light in this world. And sometimes we can be afraid to go forth and bring that light to those dark spaces. But that fear stops us from some pretty amazing experiences at times. If I say I'm never scared, just know I mean it. Ace of Coins. Opportunity is knocking at this time. You may get an offer of some sort, maybe an offer for a new job, maybe an offer to pay you for something in particular, maybe an offer of commitment, stability, loyalty. Somebody may offer to help you out in some way, or you may have somebody who wants to reach their hand out to you and be a light in your life the way that you've been in theirs. You may even have an opportunity to be able to reach your hand out to somebody else, and this may show you that you actually have a lot more than you think you do, because you still have something to offer, even if you don't have the other things you're thinking that you're missing. So glad that resonated with you, Tori. Sounds good. I love when you're here, Moonlight. I always love to see all of you guys. Yesterday, even though technically it was my day off, and even though I still did do a reading yesterday, I went over to the gas station across the street to grab a pack of cigarettes, and there's a girl over there that I've talked to a few different times about some of the things going on in her life, and she was really upset, and I did mention something about how you doing today and that kind of stuff. She kind of glossed over it for a second, and I was like, you look really sad today. And she's like, yeah, I kind of got some things going on. And I was like, some other guy came up in line, so she was handling him, and I was like, I'm gonna go to the bathroom and then we'll talk when I get back. And so I went over to the bathroom, but somebody was in there, and she's like, you know what, I am gonna talk to you. Let me go talk to my coworker really quick so I can have her come spot me while I go have a cigarette break. And so we went outside and we sat and talked for a good half an hour about what she had going on. She don't have no money to give me. And there's been a few times though where I didn't have money for cigarettes, and she's like, don't worry about it, we got a bucket of change down here, that's what it's for, we got you. And I could be afraid, or I could go, hey, I really need something, not getting anything out of this, and walk away. When it comes to this channel, I have higher boundaries on, because there has been a lot of that. And also because I do got to be able to take care of me too. But it depends on the circumstance, and everybody has the right in their lives to decide which circumstance they need to be there for. That one I felt like I needed to be there for. When you feel that call and you feel like you need to be there for something, don't let fear distract you or pull you away from that mission and that purpose, because that is the root of everything else in your life. The energies are a little bit dense, yep. There's a lot going on today, beautiful. Must be your dad and granny too. Dad sung in a chorus and he used to sing at home. I've been quite lonely the last couple months, wishing to have a good friend to chat with and spend time with. I will watch this. Tomorrow I need some sleep. Thank you. You're welcome, beautiful, and thank you as well. Thank you, Jessa, for the like. So me and her this weekend are going to go to the river and kind of chill in some nature, because she hasn't been doing as much of that lately as she needs to. And yeah, 2 days since you made the decision to keep your distance from your best friend, and you're regretting it so much. Sometimes we do regret that. And sometimes even when it's painful, those decisions that we make are for our highest good. A couple years ago, it took me 8 months to listen to my guides who kept telling me, you need to pull yourself away from this situation. You need to pull yourself away from this situation. And I knew there were some things going on, but I didn't want to. Finally, I did. And yeah, it did hurt. And at the same time, when that person recently resurfaced for a second, a lot of those same things that she was doing behind the scenes started happening again. Although at least there were some other people there to see it too. So, you know, they could verify that, yeah, this is going on. Because there's things that kind of make you feel a little crazy. So, we got the Tower. There might be some sudden shifts or changes coming in. There might be something that suddenly gets exposed or known. Some of you could be waiting around for a hero, holding out for a hero. A hero's gonna save the day. There's this video the other day. You are the hero. You're the hero of your own life. And when you give the power to other people to decide whether or not you're happy, or whether or not you're going to do the things you want to do, and things like that, you're giving your power away to them. When you're giving them the responsibility of being the hero of your life, you're giving your power away. Know that every time that something falls apart, or every time that something collapses, or there's a big shift or change going on, first off, it's a test of your stability. It's a test of your foundation. It's a test of how much healing you've done within your roots. And it also gives you the chance to be able to rebuild things in a different way, in a better way. To be able to heal things, to be able to grow things, and to be able to make something new in your life. And I feel like you might be worried that if something happens, you aren't going to be able to get through it, or you don't know how you're going to deal with it. And if something happens, you might be getting ready to go into hysterics about it, or something along those lines. But right at that perfect moment, the universe is going to come through for you to reaffirm your faith and to show you, hey, we got your back. Regardless of whether or not it feels like it or looks like it, you will be taken care of when you need it most. Awesome. Thank you, Tori. I probably got about 15, maybe 20 minutes left, so after you purchase, make sure to throw your question down there. That way I can get to it quickly, because my phone is not fully charged today. Pro Football Pod. Thank you. I appreciate it. Sure, go for it, Moonlight. I think I got time to answer both of yours and to finish off this message as well. So I'm only going to do the one go through of the messages today. So, we got the Five of Cups. And when something happens where everything falls apart, we can get so stuck on the past and the hurt and the pain, the loss, the grieving, that we can kind of get pulled down with it. Look at her being pulled down into that water, pulled down by those emotions. Or we can rise above it, or we can turn around and we can notice what's around us to be grateful for. It's amazing because, you know, there's actually been a lot of times I've used my stepdad as an example when it comes to feeling upset about things in my life. It's like, and he passed away now, but it's like he can barely walk. All of the bones in his feet are broken into tiny little pieces, and the doctor told him, hey, don't stop walking on him though, because if you stop walking on him, you're done walking. There's no way to fix it, and this is what you got. So keep walking. Or sounds about right. That's exactly what I was thinking when that happened, actually. Come on, princess. I can definitely understand being anxious about something. I have had my moments. I am so glad that things like that happening don't cascade me anymore. Like that snowball effect where one thing after the next happens until you just lose your shit. Yeah, it takes a lot more at this point. That's the nice part about going through so many of those things. So. Can definitely understand not wanting to lose your best friend. It's so hard to lose your best friend. Especially if, like myself, you've had a life where people come and people go. People come and people go. People come and people go. It's a little bit easier the last couple years because, you know, I had my best friend for 10 years. Yeah, sometimes things even happen when you've been best friends for that long. The live did crash. I am back though, so you guys can throw your questions down there. We are going to finish this reading. So, we can get so stuck and focused on that. Where was I? Oh yeah, my stepdad. And he had this big old toucan-sized hole in his leg for like 8 months that my mom would have to, every single day, twice a day, pull out all of the stuff that was stuffed in there, the gauze that was stuffed in there. She'd have to clean it and then put new gauze in it and then cover it up. And it would do that twice a day. So then he would have to go down once a week and they'd cut off all the dead skin so it didn't get gangrenous, so he didn't lose his leg because he was diabetic. There's one example. Over the last couple of years, I've also started to use myself in some ways because, you know, there was a couple times where I mentioned a few years back too that, you know, there's people in parts of this world that don't get to take a hot bath. So being grateful for the bath that you get to take is something that is very important. Who knows when it could be gone? Awesome. I'm glad that it's back now. Sorry, it's buffering a lot. And I will answer that right after I finish this up. So, you know, I am one of those people now where don't always know where my food's going to be coming from, or I don't always have the ability to take a shower or things like that. And those little things that are present in our day every day, it's very important to be grateful for while we have them, to enjoy them and to show our gratitude for them, express our gratitude, feel it. And even I myself, in the position that I'm in, there are things that I remind myself to be grateful for. Like the fact that I got these two little babies, or this little baby. Because they're my family. And I love them to death. I cried today when I took Hank down there. And they were talking about the possibility of adopting Angel out. And I'm like, you know, with everything I got going on, she is kind of a handful. And I love her to death. But we haven't been together for years either. And if I'm going to keep taking in all these animals from everywhere, then at some point you got to give some of them away, right? That one's going to half kill me. Because being the fact that she was a baby when I got her, even if she was a couple months old, it still creates that much stronger bond, you know? Because you're working together all the time. Around each other all day. We live together and we live in a really small space, so there's no getting away from each other. But I am grateful that I've gotten to have the time that I have gotten with her. And I'm grateful that if she does go somewhere, it's going to be to somebody who is a good family, where I know she's going to be safe and she's going to be loved and she's going to be happy and she's not going to be treated badly, because they'll make sure of that. And then they were asking, well, what about the other two? No, there's no fucking way in hell ever. Ever. That is my family. And you're not taking them. Not happening. Ever. Seven of coins. So there really is the need to, in these moments, look at your shadow side. Really look in the mirror. Look at yourself, your actions. Look at the transformations that have been made as well through each and every trial that you faced. There's a need to keep your faith and to allow things to play out the way they're going to play out, to have some patience and trust. Because these transformations that are coming in are for your highest good at the end of the day, even if at first it doesn't look like it. And that can definitely be hard to believe. So I think that is pretty much what I'm going to do for our collective message today, guys. I got started on this a little bit late today and didn't realize it was going to be quite so hot today as it has been. And so my phone's already starting to do that I'm going to start overheating thing again, and I got it on my water right now though, so it should be good for a little bit. And I'm going to answer your guys' questions. So, Moonlight, you'd like to know if you're going to be friends still, or if he's ghosting you for good. You know what? Sometimes people just need some space, and sometimes people are busy looking at the things that they did and realizing things. So let's get into this. Are you going to be friends again, or is he ghosting you for good? And if that's the case, you know what? Sometimes we all mess up. And when we realize it and we apologize and, try to make amends for things, if people aren't looking to make those amends and aren't looking to heal things between you, it takes two sides. Sometimes that's a confirmation of why you walked away in the first place, because that person does not give as much to this connection or have as much love for the situation as you do. Contract severed. Lies revealed. No more waiting for the other shoe to drop. Word has spread. Wow, that gave a severe yes or no, because, I was going to say something about yes or no questions, but then I was like, nah, we'll just see. So, I would say that is, no, you guys are not going to be friends again, and this is going to be something that is permanent. Word has spread. You will come to no harm. The song Protector is coming to mind. You are safe spiritually and physically. Live your life. It is too short to waste. Remember what fun is and start to have some again. And remember that your happiness, your joy, your fun, your experiences in life do not depend on the people around you so much as they depend on what's going on within you. We can definitely destroy our happiness all by ourselves. This actually reminds me of the collective message today as well, because that's what it's kind of about, is not allowing the outside people or the outside situations to be what governs and determines how we feel inside and whether or not we're at peace in our life or whether or not we're happy, which I can definitely relate to at points in my life too. The 9 of Stakes. Friends don't rate friends is what's coming to mind right now. Someone has crossed your boundaries. And someone has crossed your boundaries in a way that is almost unforgivable. This person has ghosted you because of their shame, because they feel like what they did is unforgivable. This person is busy right now working hard to find their soul, to find that light within themselves again, so that they don't end up doing the same thing they did to you to someone else in the future. This person may even end up making a very strong sacrifice to make sure that something like that does not happen again in the future. King of Stakes. There could be somebody else that's actually very angry about this too, because this person may have been somebody who never thought they should have been around to begin with. There are those who know what they want, and they're going to take action to create it. When you're dealing with people who are not taking the action to create peace or harmony or beauty in the situation with you, whether you're taking the action or not, at some point you have to move away from that energy, because they are not putting in the same effort as you are when it comes to this connection. Strength. The strength and courage to be able to face things head on and to be able to fight your way out of the darkness you're feeling at this time. You know what you want. You're going to be, there's going to be something that's going to end up happening that is going to give you that motivation and that drive again. It's going to inspire you to step into your courage and to fight. You may not be realizing just how much power you have inside of yourself to create change in your life. You may also not be realizing that walking away is exactly what you were supposed to do in this situation. Because this situation was something that was not good for you. It was not healthy for you. It was making you feel like you were less than you are. 44. And you had the strength and courage to follow through with those actions. And after you have tried to reach out and fix things, it's time to continue going the same direction you had decided to go when you were beginning this. And we're gonna check these cards out really quick. Yeah, you've been hurt by this situation enough. And actually, I feel like you kind of avoided for a while moving away from this situation because of your love. But you did the right thing. So don't let guilt or shame eat away at you, because I feel like there's going to be something coming out in the near future that is going to have you understanding why you were supposed to make the moves that you made. So that's pretty much what I got for you, beautiful, and I hope that that helps. Thank you, Moonlight, for answering, Tori. What do you need to know right now when it comes to you personally? I can understand wanting to take a break for your health and not wanting to lose him. But if you had to take a break for your health, then that means that this person is not healthy for you. No matter how much you love them, and no matter how good of a friend you want to be to somebody. Sometimes what's best for everyone is to move away from that situation, especially since if it's toxic for you, it's toxic for them too. Anything that is toxic or unhealthy for us is toxic and unhealthy for the person we're dealing with as well. If that helps you to feel better about it, it definitely is something that's very real. You're welcome, Moonlight. Thank you too. You're welcome, Tori. Thank you. So let's look into your personal situation. So, we have, you will be going after what you want for you, no longer concerned with the thoughts or the opinions of others. Abundance and fertility will be found all around you. You will be living a life that you are passionate about, and you will be able to smell the roses because of it. You are leading others through your example and your inspiration. With great power comes great responsibility, and you take this very seriously, which is why you are being awarded with it. Hi, Dark Shadow. Yeah. Holding back my tears, squeezing my eyes shut. Ugh, not this skin. Go away. I've cried enough lately. Crying never solved the problem anyway. Is this my own voice or that of my parents? It's okay that I'm crying. It's okay to be sad, and it's okay to grieve a loss, even if no one else sees it as one. It was for me. I'm allowed to cry, and I'm going to give myself that needed time for grieving and cleansing. The only way to heal is to allow myself to process and feel everything. So I can do this. It hurts so bad, yes, but at the end of the day, I still have me, so I have to take care of me. Give myself the love that I need. This reparenting thing can be so difficult and feel like a very slow progress at times, but I know that it's the way to go, and it is working. It is time for me to celebrate my own progress on this rough journey. Hi, Silver Priestess. Thank you for the love, beautiful. And yes, you're right, it does. Love always prevails over evil or hate, whichever way you want to look at it. 66. So there's some things that you're overcoming from your childhood, some things that could have been rough that you dealt with, some things that could have left some scars, and these might be things that you thought you had already dealt with, that you thought were already done and over, that you thought it was the end of. But there is still some work left to do here. And you might be a little bit frustrated with yourself, or you might be questioning if it's ever going to end. Exactly right. I am so glad that you're doing that. So glad that you're doing that. And I feel like you are definitely inspiring a lot of people around you because of it. Because of your ability to stand unashamed in your own emotions and your own power. Knight of Coins. Yeah, you could have spent a lot of time throughout your life working really hard to make others happy or to build something for others, to support others' beliefs or others' projects. And it could have been pretty barren or desolate when you looked around and you were working on something for you. There could have been not an equal exchange of that support. And that could definitely be something that's causing it to be so painful for you. Yeah, exactly. 5 of Pentacles. Feeling like you've been left out in the cold with no one to trust has caused you a lot of pain. But there's a fire burning within. I can feel that fire in me. Fire in Me. Good song. The other one that's coming to mind is Me, Myself, and I. I don't need no hand to hold, even at night when it's cold. I got that fire in my soul. I don't need anyone to keep me satisfied. I got the beat that's something, and it's keeping me alive. Music can really help you at this time. You know, it's funny about this card being outside of a church like that. I was talking about this morning, actually. Churches used to be a safe haven. They used to be a sanctuary. They used to be somewhere where you could go. They used to have their doors unlocked 24 hours a day. But because of fear, they don't do that anymore. They aren't there for you when you're down and out. They turn you away. They lock their doors. They bar the house of God to his children. And sometimes it can feel pretty desolate when things like that are going on. But this learning experience that you've been going through has inspired you to make some pretty massive changes in this world. You say you want to change the world. Well, we could change the world from Sugar Shack Sessions. It's a good song. Back to that, friends don't rape friends. There was a guy talking about his desires for me earlier, even if I don't feel the same. And he's taking care of them in the ways he can. And I was like, well, at least you're not taking them out on me. And he's like, yeah, I wouldn't do that. Queen of Pentacles. Look at this beautiful woman that is worth so much. A leader, a fighter for the side of light. Somebody that's been hurt a lot throughout her life, but somebody has a lot of strength and wisdom, stability. You know your value. You know your worth. You've been alone and left in the cold, and you know that you can make it just fine if you are. So you have no intention of allowing anything in your life that doesn't improve it, or that is beneath you, or anyone that disrespects you, because you have that confidence behind you. And that confidence came from all of those time periods in your life where you felt alone, or where you felt left out, or where you felt abandoned or neglected in some way. It's a slow, long journey to get you to where you are, but it's a fucking beautiful result. 4 of Scythes. You need to rest before you end up overworking yourself to the point of getting sick and things like that. Remember that value and worth. Because when we feel that value and worth, we know that we're worthy of care, concern, rest, reflection time, a break. You've learned so well how to respect yourself, how to love yourself, how to have that confidence, how to say no when it's needed, how to move away from situations when you need to, where to put your boundaries, what you will accept, what you won't. But also, you got to tell yourself that. Because first and foremost, how we treat ourselves is how others will treat us. Because they follow that example when they're deciding what we expect in our life. And you definitely don't want to be getting sick because of overworking yourself. You're definitely a very beautiful person. You're always there for others when they need you. And you have went on a long journey of discovering this self-esteem, this stability, this strength to be able to put into your own cup instead of giving everything you are to everyone else. So remember to keep that up even when it comes to work, because work we can see as giving to ourselves. But if we're giving too much to that, we are still taking away from ourselves at the end of the day. So that's pretty much what I got for yours, beautiful. I'll go ahead and pan down to these cards really quick. Yeah, she has learned how to take care of herself, and she ain't scared of a damn thing, because you know what? She's gone through hell to get to where she is. She may even feel like she is impenetrable in some way, but all of us can be brought down in some way. So make sure you're not bringing yourself down through that self-sabotaging. Hi, Cushy Singh. Today I am doing paid questions, and I'm actually getting ready to get off here. So next time, if you want to ask a question, you're more than welcome to. Make sure you send payment and then throw your question below while I'm doing the reading, and I will answer your question. I'm not Christian, so I'm not the person to talk about those things. Sorry, Gracie. There are plenty of other readers out there, I'm sure, that are talking about those things. Not the one for you. Thank you guys so much for everything that you do to support this channel. And all the likes, shares, comments, subscribes, timestamps, donations, purchases, tips. Everything you guys do helps me to be able to support myself, as I'm here to support you guys on your path. So really, I appreciate it so much, and thank you for that. I'm sure there are lots of other people who find solace in this place as well, that appreciate what you guys give back to. And I really appreciate you. I hope you have a beautiful day. I will see you next time.